Historical Eats, Historical Eats, Historical Eats.
Hi everybody, and welcome back to this episode of Historical Eats. Today we are going to be making crackling corn sticks. The recipe is around circa 1970, early 1970s, and comes from the recipe book Collector's Items of a Cook, which was compiled and edited by Twildy and Walt Amon, who were the pastors of the Park City Community Church. So let's get started.
Before we jump into the recipe, just want to give a quick shout out to The Market at Park City. So thank you to The Market for sponsoring these videos and providing all the groceries you see here. This recipe comes from a cookbook in our collection called Collector's Items of a Cook with Comments. It was compiled by Twildy and Walt Amon, pastors of the Park City Community Church in the early 1970s. We don't know exactly when this recipe is from, just that it was compiled then. The Crackling Corn Sticks calls for 1 cup of cornmeal, 1.5 cups of flour, 3 teaspoons of baking powder, half a teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of sugar, 1 egg, 1 cup of milk, and 4 slices of bacon. It's a pretty simple recipe to make these. So you sift the flour and combine all the dry ingredients. Then you beat the egg and add in the milk. You dice up the bacon and fry it. And then you combine everything together, including the bacon fat. You then put them in a corn stick pan, so like usually a cast iron pan with corn cob shapes in them. If you don't have that, it says that you can use a flat cake pan. We used a lasagna pan to kind of keep it in a similar long shape. Just make sure you grease the pan, then you bake it at 400 degrees, and they say to do it until it's well done.
Hi everybody, and welcome. We are now at the museum. We have everybody with us, Alyssa, Eliza, Morgan, and Dalton, of course, and we're going to try our crackling corn sticks. As I mentioned earlier, this recipe is from a book from the early 1970s, and it looks delicious, smells delicious.
I'm hung up on the title. It's a corn stick.
Well, we baked them as sticks, but they're cut for you.
Yeah, they're supposed to be baked
stick.
inside of a pan that is shaped like corn cobs. You know what I'm talking about? Like a cast iron pan.
Yeah,
but we didn't have one of those. So.
I see.
Yeah, it says if you don't have that, you should bake it in a cake pan.
But we went with the lasagna.
We went with the lasagna pan so they would still be stick-like.
Yeah, and we brought some butter and some jam in case you want that, because it seems very cornbready, so it could be a little dry potentially. So if you want to add some stuff.
As long as there's some raspberries in the jam, we'll be fine.
So bake for 30 seconds less. It's too dry. Instructions.
Oh, we're good.
Okay, well, let's dig in.
Oh good, you saved it with bacon.
Yeah, that's just cornbread with bacon in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's not bad.
I know.
Butter inside there.
It's definitely
Very crumbly.
dry. Like very cornbread texture.
Yeah, it's said to bake until like well done, not just done.
Mm-hmm.
So like we cooked it longer than like we normally maybe would have, like it was cornbread or something.
They said it's the 70s. We want it dry.
Yep.
So I think it's still been good if we had pulled it out like 10 minutes sooner.
I did too.
But if it was in stick form and you were holding it and eating it, it might fall over. So it needs to be like this.
Maybe.
Good point, good point.
Yeah, we did bake it in a long loaf instead of a small corn cob.
I do love cornbread, but now I feel like I need to put bacon in all my cornbread now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like it's just not the same anymore.
Although I will say it's not as sweet as cornbread. Because it's just cornmeal, there's nothing else.
No sugar.
No, there's a little bit of sugar in it.
Yeah, a little bit of sugar.
Very
Yeah,
good,
but if
not a
you
lot.
added corn to the cornbread with the bacon, I mean, look at me making up recipes.
There was a time that I went on a Mormon camp, and we had cornmeal mush to understand what the pioneers went through.
I love mush.
If this was mush, that's what it tastes like. It's kind of cornmeal.
Mush is kind of like grits a little bit, but if you can,
It's a little more hardtack than it is mush, though.
Sure, yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
It's mush brittle.
I feel like we could march 28 miles now in the Civil War after reading this.
Yeah, I mean, overall, decent. Like, yeah, if you want it to be more cornbready, just don't bake it as long. If you want it to be carry around stick, put it in a smaller dish to bake in.
But you're right, Sophie. I think it does need cheese.
And if you like bacon, just quadruple the bacon.
Yeah. It needs more
It
bacon.
asked for 4 strips of bacon. I was
we
like,
actually-
why not more than this?
Not enough.
And I actually put in 5.
Yeah.
Whoa, decadent.
I know.
We rebelled from the recipe, yeah.
So this isn't historically accurate at all.
You say it was from the 70s?
Mhm.
I feel like it needs to be earlier.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
the recipe book
is from the 70s.
yeah. So the recipe could be from any time prior to the early 70s. It was just compiled by a pastor at the community church, so.
Oh, I gave up on that. You're much more elegant than
Well,
me.
I'm doing my best. We're being filmed.
This and the chili from last time. There we go.
Together.
Winning
Yeah.
combination.
Oh,
Yeah.
well
That would
done,
be
sir.
good.
I like
Yeah.
that idea.
Yeah, I want more bacon in this, a little more seasoning in the chili, and got perfection for a
The
fall
chili
meal.
needed potato or rice. But this would be very good.
I believe actually what it needed was bean.
Yeah, you don't think it has enough beans?
Well, we left out a can potentially, so it could have had more
Yeah, because
beans.
it's supposed to be on a mound of beans, right?
Yep. Yeah, we were actually supposed to serve this over hot beans too.
So thumbs up, thumbs down,
Thumbs up.
sideways-ish.
Okay, thumbs up.
Okay.
I give a thumbs up
Yeah. I
compared
think-
to other things you've made me eat on the show.
Yeah, well, I think just more bacon, bake it slightly less for me, and like eat it like it was more like cornbread.
It's kind of like a muffin top. I'd rather eat the top of the muffin. I'd rather eat the top of this than the bottom.
You didn't pre-supply us with trash cans just in case.
No, yeah, I figured.
That's
We
great.
weren't as worried this time.
Yeah, I don't think we were worried about this one. It's bacon. Yeah.
I'm always worried now. I mean, at this point.
Don't be.
Thanks for lunch.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in.
Historical eats, historical eats, historical eats.